It's working.
1 second, please. Yeah, it's working now. Okay, it's working now.
Okay.
Uh,
So will I have problems like tonight when or would you guys need to log out?
no, no, I using the gas. If you turn it off, it's okay.
Okay. Okay. All right.
Anh, hình như nó đang bị bệnh rồi. Không, 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 lại đấy, chỉnh giữa màn hình rồi đấy. Anh gửi bên stream cho thầy Quân. Em không để tới biết hay là có để báo bao nhiêu?
So let me know when you guys are ready.
Dạ, rồi đấy. À, dạ.
What's this? So I'm going to go over the basics today. We'll start off with the basics.
Em gửi anh luôn.
Hey, how you doing? Good. You ready? Ready? Okay. So, my name is Alex Broadbent, and I've been with Mach for 13 years. And today we're going to start slow, and we're going to go over the fundamentals of our software and how it all works together with each other. Okay, so just bear with me. I don't know what you all know, but I'm going to figure it out today, and then we'll move forward. And I have a list of things from our previous meeting of what I want to cover, and I think what you want me to cover. Okay, so just today is going to go slow. I've had a lot of carrot juice and coffee. I'm feeling good, and I'm going to try to talk very slow because I'm not sure if you all speak English, or I definitely don't speak Vietnamese at all. So just tell me to repeat or to slow down, and I will go over things very slow. But we'll figure it out today. So today is we're gonna crawl before we walk. That makes sense. Okay. So this is the launch for VR Forces, and you guys can just watch what I'm doing. You don't have to follow along. I'm gonna click this, and it's gonna bring up this dialog, which is the simulation connection configuration. And you can see that I've got DIS localhost selected. I'm going to expand this here, and you can see that once I click this, I'm going to get a GUI and then a simulation engine. So I'm literally going to launch two applications, a GUI, which I interact with, and then a sim, which is strictly the brains behind VR Forces. So GUI and sim, two separate applications that communicate through DIS or HLA. Make sense? So let me select DIS local, meaning that I'm going to use DIS, but I'm going to locally, within my machine, communicate between the front end and the back end. Okay, so I'll hit launch selected. So it's bringing up my back end and my front end, and so I have two applications. Give it a second, and I can see a lot of you have forces up already. That's good. So let's look at this. So I've got the back end here, and so you can see that this is just waiting for me to do something. But I can go in here and I could load a scenario, create a scenario, change the terrain, create a new scenario or load an existing scenario. So we're going to do new scenario. You don't have to follow along if you don't want to. It's okay. Like, and you should hopefully have an engage overlay on your machines. And if you don't, we'll figure it out. So I'm going to do a new scenario. You don't have to do this if you don't want to. We'll do it again. New scenario. The simulation model set will be VR Engage, but I have a whole choice of different SMS files. And then I have a terrain here, and I have a whole set of terrains that I can pull from. But I'm going to do Ala Moana, which is Hawaii, in the center of Pacific Ocean, and then the VR Engage over SMS. So let me hit OK. I'll go through this again, so don't feel like you have to do all this. And so that'll load. You can see the back end is running. It's loading the terrain. It's loading the SMS. And then I have the front end here, which is behind it. Okay, so now let me put in a entity, and I'll just put in a tank. So here's an M1A2 tank. I'm just going to put that guy right here, and I should be able to see the scenario loading. Now it's loading in the tank, and there's my tank. So I've got a front end and I've got a back end with a tank. Okay, so forces is your scenario development. So you develop scenarios in forces. Now let's load something else. I'm going to load another piece of hardware here. Or I'm actually going to load something else. So we're gonna use Vantage, and Vantage is just a viewer. It's a 3D application that just renders. That's all it does. There are no brains behind it. There is no back end. So I'm going to run this. So Vantage is the viewer, Forces is the brains, and then Engage is how you interact with it. So Engage enables me to move. So I'm going to load the train, identical Ala Moana in Vantage, and I'll minimize all this so you'll see it. What I want you to do is in your head, imagine what you need to work. So here is Vantage. Let me scale this down a little bit. And I'm going to move this over here. Here is my forces. And you can see that I have a tank here, but Vantage doesn't see the tank. So you can see there's no object list. So now I'm going to go settings, connection, and I'm going to use DIS. I'm going to use DIS localhost, connect, and I should see my tank. Make sense? So everything connects through HLA or DIS. And we also have SIGI as well. So when you're building something, you have to remember that everything is connected, and it's connected through VR Link. So VR Link is the connection. Forces is the brains. Vantage is the viewer. And we're going to be jumping from one to the other, but just let me know if you need me to explain. So right here, you can see my tank over here. I'm just going to look at it. There's my tank, and there's my tank here. I'm going to hit play here. I'm going to hit no to that. Now I'm going to go here and say task, movement, move to, and I'll just have it move to this area over here. Hit OK. And then I should start seeing it thinking. So there it is moving. And so here I can now look around. There's my tank moving around. And then let's put in a bad tank. We'll put in a bad tank, see what happens. We'll put in that tank here. M1A2, we'll put in a bad guy here. Now, they should start engaging each other. Hopefully, when they see each other. Oh, it's right there, so see if they engage each other. There he goes. So he killed the tank. That's how easy it is. Okay? So, again, this is my viewer. This is Vantage. So you can see there are no shadows. So I can go and settings, display, turn on shadows, enable shadows. And I should start seeing shadows and everything. It's got to re-render everything again. So this is where you make things pretty to look at. And still thinking. Still going. It has to basically re-render the entire scene again to use the shadows. There we go. So there's my shadows. You can see the shadows of the trees, the shadow of the tank. And then now let's go over here and we're going to change the time of day. So forces, let's see if this force is going to listen to that. Oh, so I'm changing the time of day in forces, but I'm not seeing the change over here. So I need to have the connection listen to advance show. I need to figure this out, but I can also have the connection listen to the time of day and everything like that. All right. So now we're gonna do one more thing. I'm gonna load another piece of software. Okay. I go here, Mach Technologies. We're gonna load Engage. So let's load Engage. So if you remember on forces, I created a terrain, an entity, and the entity is using the Engage SMS. So we're talking like high level here, guys. So I'll go through this over and over again. Okay. So I'm going to click on localhost. This is Engage. I'm going to connect. And it should find the scenario. There it is, session found. So this is my Engage. There we go. And you can see I've messed with the time of day. I might not have an Engage entity out there. So I do have this tank out there. You can see this one is my original tank. And this is the bad tank. So I don't see it in my list because it is not an Engage tank. So I need to go here and I'm going to click on this button. And let me move this out so you can see it. So I hit plus. So I'm going to create a new entity. I'm going to change this to blue. And you can see that I'm going to use a vehicle. And I want to use, whoops, let that go too quickly. I want to use an Engage vehicle. So watch, when I check that off, I'm going to look for an M1A2, and that's going to be armored Engage. And you can see this list shrunk dramatically. So now I'm going to put out a vehicle, and it's going to look just like this other tank, but now you can see it's visible here. So that means I can engage this tank and start driving it around using this. And let me go ahead and engage it. So I'll hit engage. There's my, and I'm gonna be able to move left and right. This is my gunner. There's my other tank. Whoops, not quite following it. And I think I lit him up. I'm lighting up the other one, so let's fire here. And then at any point I can switch, and I could choose a different role for that. So instead of commander, I can be the driver, engage. So I'm gonna select a button. I'm gonna turn on the engine and then start putting it into gear, and I'll start driving around. So I'm driving that around. Let's shift, let's see, control, give me a second, control, enter. There we go. Let's shrink this down a little bit so you can see all this. So I've got forces here, I've got vantage here, and where's my other tank? There he is. All right, so he's still driving. Now I'm going to turn him. You hear the engine?
Yes.
So I'm driving the tank in engage, but the tank was created in forces. And then I could also change the gear. I could also hit escape and change my role, choose role. So instead of the driver, I could be the gunner, engage, and then let's see if I can. So I'm shooting the coaxial gun. Now I'm going to switch role, night vision, gun stabilizer, radio, disembark. Let's see if I can change this. Gunner, loader. So I'm basically using the coaxial machine gun here. Now let's change that, and I'm going to choose a different role. Instead of the gunner, I'll be the driver and the gunner, or the loader. Engage. So I'm now driving the vehicle, and I think I can do multiple roles here. And there's my brakes. This might be in a weird version. There's my gunner there, and then let's see if I can shoot. Forget which button. There we go. Switching my views. There we go. So I'm changing it up. Might take a little bit to get that in. Yeah, it sounds like the sound's a little off. Switch that. All right. Is this kind of making sense? So in this one local host using DIS, I'm using forces to create and make logic, vantage to look and view, and then engage to drive. That makes sense?
Yes.
All right, I'm going to add one more thing. All right, let me hit escape, and we're going to go here. This is going to be the logger. and we're going to use the logger DIS. So let's see if I can get this to work. All right, there it is. I need to now connect. Connection. It's going to use localhost. Let's disconnect. Let's try this again. Multi-address. Connect. I'm going to hit record. All right, so I'm seeing traffic out there. So now I'm recording everything that's out there. So let's go back here, and I'm going to change this to neutral pivot. And I need to change my how this is working. And I look like I'm firing. And we can also change roles and record that. Choose role. This is going to be the driver, engage. And I'm still in this pivot mode, which is not good, but anyway. Let me just escape that. So I'm going to hit escape, and we're going to stop that. And now I'm going to play this back. Okay. So let me, I'm going to kill this engage, and I'm going to kill the back end, because at this point I'm going to emulate the back end. So I'm going to hit Q, quit, and close the current terrain. I'm going to hit no. So you can see all my entities disappeared that were there, and they also disappeared on Vantage, no entities. Now I hit play here. There's my entities. So I'm playing back the recorded, and remember I was kind of struggling here. Let's see if this, what this does. So he's kind of like spinning in place. I think he fires once. I didn't do a good example of that. But all this is doing is just playing back. And then I think at this point, I then tried to jump to another role, and I tried to drive a little bit. So this is an entity in Vantage playing and showing a scenario in Forces that was being controlled by Engage, and it was all being recorded on the logger. So I could do this through DIS, HLA, or SIGI, but I'm using DIS localhost. Make sense? All right. So this is kind of the overall Mach 1. So you could have Engage, Forces, Logger, Vantage, multiple machines. So you would never use the software like this on one machine. You would engage, like you could be the driver, gunner, commander on a helicopter or a tank, whatever. Then he could be playing the scenario or making the scenario. That all makes sense? So that's why you have 11 licenses, so you can have multiple roles, and then you would just have one Forces that's kind of controlling everything. So that's your ISO station. Okay, make sense? So that's kind of the overview of Mach 1. And in this, there's a setting here that I'm just not familiar with. Let me see if I can find it. Connection, let me see. DIS. Of course, it's not there, so let me see if I can find it in here. Display. Sometimes we hide things, and it drives me a little crazy. So we should be able to listen to the time of day. And as soon as I find it, it might take me a bit to track it down. So let me make this bigger so I can see everything. Where are you? In here somewhere. Time of day. Sorry, this is gonna drive me crazy if I don't find it. So, but if you want, you guys can start up forces all by itself. And are you in the forces that you guys have, does it have the overlay? The VR Engage overlay? Did you install the VR Engage overlay on these machines?
Anh ơi, cái máy này nó được truyền tải yeah,
VR Engage overlay?
full module.
Yeah. Did you do on your machine here? Do me a favor. Do file new. Do in the VR forces. Do file new. Yeah, that I can't tell that way. You got to go to the you go to forces, the application. Yeah, go to the application. Yeah, that's not the right thing either. Kill that. Kill it. So you're gonna go to forces here. Watch. File new. File new. New scenario at the top. New session. Okay. Now just select Ala Moana. Hit open. Now wait. Now under that simulation model set, what does that say? Great. So you have it installed. Okay. So let me go ahead and kill this. So I've killed that back end. So I'm gonna hit yes, I'm gonna kill that. So let me start this up again. So I'm gonna go here, forces, and again, we're gonna get really good at this. I double click on that. I'm gonna use DIS localhost, and that's gonna start a front end and a back end. Launch. So we've got forces, engage, vantage, and the logger, and they all talk to each other using what? What? There you go. Gold star. VR Link connects everything to each other. So I'm going to say new scenario, and it's going to be the simulation model set from VR Engage on Ala Moana. And the reason I'm picking Ala Moana is because it's local. So all these machines have it. So I'm going to hit OK. So we'll get really good at loading this. We're going to do it over and over and over again. All right. And let me go here, and I'm gonna look for this thing. It's gonna drive me crazy. Enable height above the train. Scaling of 3D maps. I bet it's under here. It's like under some ridiculous setting, which drives me crazy. DIS. Not there. Sorry, I'm just this is one of those things that's gonna drive me absolutely crazy if I can't find it. All right. So Vantage can also listen to the time of day, and for some reason that's off, and I'm going to find it. I'm going to find it, but maybe I'll wait until there's downtime. All right. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just kill Vantage. So this is Vantage. This is only a 3D viewer. So let me kill that. Hit OK. Here's Logger, which was playing back the scenario. I'm going to kill that. I'm not going to save that. So now everybody should have this right here. And we're going to build simple scenarios. Okay. And we're going to just use tanks, but if you want, you could also use helicopters. What is your main goal? What do you want to stick with helicopters, tanks, personnel?
Thầy muốn cùng đi tiểu thầy cùng sẽ ăn máy bay trực thăng hay là người thường rồi thường thường sẽ tự di chuyển định tàu.
You tell me, we'll do whatever.
You want hành
Tanks? All right. Tanks it is. All right. So we're gonna, there's a building here. I'm in the corner here, and one of these buildings I think I can destroy. So we're gonna go down. I'm in plan view here, but if I change that from plan view to stealth, give it a second. Now I can fly, so I can zoom in and out the same way, but I can also press the right mouse key, and hold, and I can look around. And then I could also use the WASD keys. So W, A, D, S. I could use the keys on the keyboard to move around, or I could use the middle mouse, scroll out, scroll in, hold down the right key, turn left, turn right. Like go to the ground here, look around. And one of these is a destructible building. I think it's this one here. So let's try to blow this up. So I'm going to hit explosion. There we go. Let's see. I might have to play the scenario. Or maybe it's, did I get it? There we go. So that took a little bit to do it. So let me rewind the scenario. And I click this button up here, which is create detonations. It's a mortar, but I can make it something bigger. So this is an MK84 bomb, which is a huge bomb. And I could blow this up. So let's hit explosion, but I have to be playing. There we go. For it to register. And then I could rewind it. There we go. Rewind. Play. And it seems it didn't like that when I did it at time 0, so it kind of recorded that. So I could do file, new scenario. I haven't saved this out again. So file, new scenario, Ala Moana. I'm going to reload the train, then do that, hit OK. There we go. Everything's happy again. Okay, so what we'll do is we're going to do something with that building there. We'll do tanks that are moving around. And I'm going to plug in M1A2. And then I'm going to press this button here. See this button, the engage button, VR engage. So once I press this button, it's going to limit the list to tanks that are only available to run in VR engage. So we've got a desert and we have another one here. So we're going to use the green tank that's labeled Abrams MBT. Okay? So I'm going to click on that, click there, and you can see there's my tank on the end of my mouse. And if I hold down the shift key, I can rotate it, and then I can move it. So if I hold down the shift key, I can rotate. But once I click and release, it's going to put down a tank. Okay. And then I could click off of it. And then I could also delete these tanks. Like, let's say I don't want this one. I'm going to press the delete key. Delete. Delete. We can place it again. Abrams tank, hold down the shift key. So we'll just place it right there. Place. Okay. So put down one tank and make sure it's a M1A2 Abrams NBT. And we're going to, as soon as you have that tank down, you're going to do File, Save Scenario As. And you're going to give it a name. And I'm just going to call this class _1. And I'll hit save. Okay. So I'll wait. You're restarting, I see. But just let me know when you guys have that. I'll keep this menu up. So M1A2, and you're just going to place a tank. Let me know when you guys are ready.
Lúc nào để cái sẽ tăng xuống như anh nhỉ? Lúc nào cái clip sao cho sẽ tăng sẽ như này. Và đây which button to click? Just right click.
Left.
Left.
Left click.
Yep.
Click once.
Click một lần thôi.
Not working? There you go. Yeah. You might want to restart that. I'm not sure exactly what's going on. Good? Good? Okay. Excellent. All right. Yep. So we can just work with the one tank and try to make it daytime so it's easier to see, or shift to plan view. Like this might be the best thing to start off with, this view right here. And I do that by clicking here. So your observer 1, I change that to plan. And so it might make it easier to play with this. Okay. Hour. Yeah. Okay. So what we're gonna do now, like hopefully you guys have a tank that's out there. We're gonna start giving it tasks. So there's ways to task things, and when I say task, do you know what I mean? Like I'm gonna to watch this. So I've got this scenario. I'm gonna hit play. So I'm up here. I hit the play button, and now I'm going to task this. I right click on it, and I say task, movement, move to, and then it wants me to click somewhere, so I'm going to click here, then press OK. So now wait for the tank. The tank's going to find its way there. So I tasked the tank. I'm telling the tank what to do. Let me do it again. So I'll interrupt its current. I'll say move to, click somewhere else, hit OK, and you can see it's saying, hey, I'm already doing something. Do you want me to do this? And I'm gonna hit yes. So now it's gonna go from where I sent it to somewhere else. So it's finding its way there. Okay. So get comfortable with that. You're gonna task the tank movement, move to, and you're gonna move to different locations. But you have to be playing the scenario. So he's not. Yep. Make sure you're playing the scenario. Play. Hit the play button here. Give it a name. Like just call it whatever you want. So it won't do anything until you hit play.
Cái này được rồi, chú lấy cái nút tu của người ta chụp ảnh cho đối tượng
Okay. And then once you're done, you can rewind the scenario. You hit this, and it'll actually reload. Okay. So we're going to give this tank some ability to move around. So I've got a single tank just doing nothing. And I'm going to hit play, and then I'm going to right click on it, and I'm going to start telling it what to do. Task, movement, move to, click on a location, hit OK. And since the snare is playing, it's going to do that. But I could also do this. I could right click, create route, or create waypoint. Let me create a waypoint. And I could click here, make a waypoint, click here, make a waypoint. And now let's click on the tank, and I'm going to say task, movement, move to, and rather than a location, I'm going to click on a waypoint. Press OK. So it's going to move to that waypoint. And you can see as it's moving, let's get it going. So rather than a location, you could actually move to something that's movable on the map. So I could say, oh, I'm going to move this over here. And you can see it actually stopped doing that, and now it's moving to the new location. We can move it over here. Let's see what it does. Now it's going to move here, and I'm going to move it back here. And you can see it says, hey, it's not there anymore. Now I'm going to move back here. So let's rewind the scenario. Are you guys feeling comfortable with this? You want me to move forward? I'll wait a little bit. I'm going to wait. Let these guys catch up.
Mình có nhiều điểm nhưng cũng không cần nói lắm nhỉ. Em ơi, Phương. Con này anh có cho nó đi ra đây đâu mình không sẽ được. Không cần cho mà. Không cần. Đúng rồi, click tốt là anh nhắn lại cái không nói thằng người không đi theo yêu cầu thì phải tự quay bốn cái nào còn cái này anh cứ phải rồi tiếp tục quay kia thì ai sẽ quay đi đây cái này thì không có anh chưa bị áp theo cái đường đi của nó.
Okay. You guys feeling good? I'll wait.
Được chưa? Thì mình tiếp chạy theo đường nhanh thẳng về cái điểm đầu tiên này. Chú chọn điểm thì nó sẽ tự tính toán đường.
Okay.
Không, bên dưới đi đến phòng đây nó chạy đến cái điểm đánh nhất trong chân phim.
Everything good? You guys good? Okay. So we're gonna do this a little bit more. So I'm gonna rewind the scenario, and I should have a tank that I can move around, but I'm gonna have it do a series of things. Okay. So first thing, before I do anything, make sure I'm at time 0, and I'm gonna right click here, and I'm gonna say create waypoint. So there's my waypoint. Now I'm going to right click again, and I'm going to say create route. So here is my route. Click again, and I double click to end that. So I've got a waypoint, a route, and then I could say create area, but I'll just do waypoint 1 and waypoint 2. All right. So the next thing I'm going to do is right click on the tank and go to the plan. So you can see here, I'm going to plan out this movement for the tank. So this is a plan for the tank. And before we were just right clicking and getting it to do things. So now we're going to give it a plan. And the plan here, I'm going to say task, movement, move to waypoint. So I click on the waypoint, hit OK. So that's my first task. And I click here and I say task, movement, patrol route, or we're going to say move along route. Move along routes, move along route, and I'm going to select that route, hit OK. Now the next thing I'm going to do is say task, movement, and this will be patrol between, and I want it to patrol between this one and this one, so 2 different waypoints. I hit OK. So now I've got 3 things that this plan is going to do. So I hit apply, hit OK, save, file, save scenario. So my scenario is now saved. I hit play, and immediately this guy should go to this waypoint. And let's speed it up a little bit. So now he gets to that waypoint. He then moves along the route, and I could bring up the plan, and you can see what he's doing. So moving to the waypoint, he's now moving along the route. Then he gets to the end of the route. He's going to patrol between these 2 waypoints. So he goes here, he goes over here, and I could move this somewhere else. And he's going to do this last task forever. He will never complete this task, ever. He's going to do this forever because it's a never-ending task. So let's rewind that, play it again, and I could delete this. So let's delete that, and I'm going to give it something else. So I'll say task, movement, move to, and rather than these waypoints, I'll just give it a location. I'll put a location over here. See what he does with that. Hit OK. So now he's got a new destination. Hit apply. And I'll play this. It's going to say, hey, you've changed this scenario. Do you want to save it? And I'll hit yes. So now we'll speed this up. He goes there. He goes along this route. He's going to get to the end. And now he's going to figure that he needs to go all the way around over here to get there. Now when he's sitting here for a little bit, he's actually pivoting and rotating around. So he's still turning, and he's going to choose the roads to get there. So he's going to pick the most logical path to get there. Now he's going to move to this. Now he's done. So he's completed this plan. Now watch this. So I've got this character out here. So let's stop, rewind. There's his plan. So I'm going to say, okay, I want to put another tank out here. So here's my other tank. I'm going to put it, let's put it right there. And if I click on it and say plan, you can see how this plan is blank for that second. So now I'm going to right click here, copy, right click here, paste, hit apply, hit play, yes. And now you can see that these tanks are doing the same thing. So I literally copied one plan to another tank. Make sense? Yeah.
Can I rename the waypoint and row?
What's that?
Can I rename the waypoint?
Rename the other tank?
Yes. No. Rename the waypoint. Example, I set the name point is
You want to rename the waypoint?
Yes.
Yes. You okay? So watch. So I'm gonna go here, edit, and I'll call this.
Okay.
Now we'll call it cat. Cat. You guys like cats, right? Cat, and then we'll call this cat one, and then this will be. Guess what? What's this one gonna be called? Dog one. Cat and dog. Okay. So I can rename that and then get these tanks to go here. So let's rewind this and but I want to show you something. Just see how the scenario was playing when I did that, and then these went back. So I have to stop the scenario, rewind it, rename it, save it. So if I'm editing the scenario as it's going, it's bad. Like that's something you don't do. So I intentionally did it to show you that you need to rewind the scenario to time zero. Time zero is very important. So if you're editing these scenarios, make sure you go all the way back, stop it, and now edit again. So I'm going to edit, call this cat, CAT, space one, update, edit. This will be DOG one, hit OK, update. So now I'm not using these waypoints in this plan, but I can go here and instead of move to destination waypoint one, I could say move to the cat. And then I could also do something like this. I can copy this within the plan, paste it. So you see what I did there? And so I can also copy, then go down here, add that again, hit apply. So or I can move it. I can move this up here. That makes sense. Or I can do something like this, copy, paste it to the other plan, hit apply, and then hit save. And now it's got moving to cat, moving to waypoint one.
If I change the waypoint one name, will the plan change?
Excellent question. That's an excellent question. The plan will update automatically. Okay, so let's try that. So I'm going to do stop, rewind. All right, now I'm going to close these plans. I'm going to change this, edit, and we'll call this cat 22 update. Now let's go into the plan. There's cat 22. So you can change things. I can even do this. I can even edit the names of these entities and call this Tiger 1, something like that. Update. And the plan should just work. But it wants you to save that. Let's turn on the labels. There's Tiger 1. So you can see that his plan is just executed. So you can go back and edit things however you want, and the plan will just play out. So get good with this. So I'm gonna let you play, create scenarios with plans. So you're gonna have tanks, waypoints, routes moving around. And once you kind of get good at that, save, edit, save, then we'll create a minefield. And you're gonna have the tank go through the minefield and explode. Okay?
And how about enemy force?
Enemy force, yeah. Yeah, we could do that too. So we'll get, but first start small, then get big. So we'll make this more involved. So start off with blue force, tanks, and a plan that uses waypoints and routes, just like this. Get them moving around. Then we'll add enemies and minefields. Okay? But I want to see this working. I want to see you all good at this. Right? Good. And one thing I did here to give the labels is I hit the L key to turn on the labels. So if you don't see the labels, press L and you should see them pop up. And also to get the plan up and running, I select the entity, I hit P for plan. Or I could right click and plan will pop up. But I want to see plans with multiple movements and so forth. Let me know when you guys are ready to move forward and we'll do something else. Or if you want to continue to play, let me know. What's your name, by the way?
My name is Tuan.
What is it?
Tuan.
Don Quan?
My name is Tuan. T and Tuan.
T-O-A-N.
Tuan.
Yes.
Tuan. Okay. So we're gonna do Tuan's plan. Next will be Tuan's plan. Okay.
Ai còn hỏi chi nữa không?
Em hỏi về đây không bảo là cái này đến bước tiếp theo hướng dẫn. Cái này cái này thì các cái bản đồ này thì mình tự xây dựng cái gì được. À vâng.
Okay. Tuan, you ready? You ready for next step?
I have a question.
Yes.
I say the plus icon.
Yep.
Top right. Yes. So we have vehicle. Any vehicle.
Yep.
So I want to use a solid.
A soldier. Soldier. Soldier, right? Yep. Okay. So what do you want?
They can run around and do some things.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah. So I've Army and Marine, Chilean that are using the M4. So I'm basically going by the AK-47. So we've got Afghan soldier. I'm just using, or I'm typing in Russian, and then I create that. And so watch this. Oh, thank you, sir. So I'm going to go to the plan on the tank, and I'm going to copy that, and then I'm going to go to the soldier. You can see the soldier has no plan. I'm going to paste that. So I'm copying the tank's plan to the soldier. Let's hit play. Yes. And look at the soldier. So the soldier's now moving based on the tank's plan. So the soldier looks and acts exactly the way a tank would, but it's moving as a soldier. Make sense? So let's add in bad guys here. This is where we'll have fun. And I'm just going to delete that soldier out there because I don't want to make it too complicated. And I'm going to delete these plans. And actually, I'll just delete the other guy. So I've got this tank here, and I'm going to do something like this, where I'm going to edit its plan, but I don't want him to fire at all. So all these are tasks. So the tank is doing something. It's moving here, moving there, moving there. But I want to set the capabilities of the tank. So I'm going to do that first. So I'm going to set its capabilities, then I want it to execute this plan. So the first thing I'm going to do is right click here and do set engagement, rules of engagement. And so you can see it's default to fire at will. I'm going to say hold fire. All right. So at the first part of the plan, he's going to hold his fire and then do everything else. And then I could take that. Let me just apply that. Hit yes. So he's going to hold fire no matter what. So let me put out another M1A2. And instead of it being blue, I'm going to make it red. And we're using an engage, this one. So this one's just going to sit here. Actually, I'll put it right here. So when he gets line of sight, he's going to shoot this tank. So you can see once he sees it, there he goes to that green line. Now he's going to engage and kill it. Okay, so let's play this again. Hit no. I'm going to put this tank out here, and I'll put it right here. So I don't want them to see each other immediately. But I'm now going to, so I look at his plan and see he's got to hold fire. I'm going to say fire at will. And then I'll go to this plan here and I'll say set engagement, rules of engagement, hold fire. So now it's going to be the other way around. So I hit play. It's going to ask me to save it. So he should fire at will. Let's speed this up. Now he sees him, he kills him, and continues to move. Okay? That's what you want to see? Okay. So I can do that at any point. So let's make it a little bit more complicated. All right. So I'm going to rewind this. Yeah, so I'm setting it, but I could also give it some basic logic. Okay. So his original plan just says hold fire. But watch this. So this may be a little advanced for today. So we're just gonna, you don't have to do this, but I'm gonna show you some logic. So we're basically moving along paths and to waypoints and to locations, and then we're setting the capabilities of these tanks. But I can also say fire at will if this is true. So watch this. You do not have to do this. This is a little too advanced for today. So I'm going to say, here's an area, create area, and I'm going to click here, double click. So there's my area, and I'm going to say condition, add trigger, and I'll say if entity and area, and I'm going to select the force, any subordinates of that force. And then this is my area here. So if any blue forces enter this area or subordinates enter that area, then I'm going to do something. I'm going to hit OK. So you can see here. So this is, I don't want you to follow along here. This is advanced, but this is the sort of logic you can do. So first thing I'm going to do is register the trigger, and you can see that went away. Now I'm going to go here and I'm going to say, then set engagement. Engagement, rules of engagement, fire at will. Okay, hit apply. Now, so by default, it's going to hold fire, but then if a blue entity enters this area, he will then fire at will. And I could put him a little bit closer up here, so he'll have a little bit of a tactical advantage. So let's see if this works. Hit play, hit OK. And so now both of them will fire at will, but the red one will only fire at will when the blue one enters that area. So you can see it's testing for this. Is this going to be true? And then once this executes, you'll see it. But one may shoot the other. Okay, now it's true. Boom. Shoot. Okay, you got it. Does that make sense? So he waited until the other entity entered that area, then he fired at will on that entity. Make sense? So just, it's a capability thing. We don't have to do that today. We're going to start slow. All right. Just think about that. You don't have to do that today. But that's sort of the logic. Do anybody have programming background? Anybody a programmer?
Ở đây có màu xanh này là nó ở đây qua vân rồi.
Cái thì đang kiểu là thằng nào có màu xanh trước thì thằng ấy thắng.
Yeah, you don't have to do that. So, but this is the way you create more and more advanced logic.
Can you explain again about everyone?
Yep. So you want me to do this again?
So I think if the blue our first Taiwan come on the first and they fight with.
So
Nếu mà cái tăng xanh mà để cái người em là một trận thì là nó thắng hay là nó thua?
Bị bắn đến đấy khu vực nó sẽ bị bắn nó kích hoạt.
I want to ask if the Tiger One come to Area 1, will he be the one who got shot or will be the one who shot?
Well, this area right here gives him a strategic advantage because he cannot see this entity. So as soon as his barrel is facing the enemy, as soon as he enters his line of sight, he's going to fire on it. The other entity has to slew his weapon 90 degrees to then fire. So there's an advantage that he has where he's located. So he's using the building as cover. So he has cover, engages, and his weapon basically has to do this and pull the trigger. So watch this. Watch this. I'll play it again, and I'm gonna face him. I'll play it again, and I'll face him in the opposite direction. And I bet this time he'll get killed. So see how he's facing this way? So let me rewind it. And now I'm going to take this guy, turn him around, do something like that, hit play. And what I should see is this vehicle is going to come up and he'll have the advantage, but he's facing in the wrong direction. So he's got to turn 180 degrees to engage. Now he'll die because both of these have the same rules of engagement. Let's speed this up. There he goes. See how he got the advantage because he literally had 90 degrees to turn. The other one had 180. So let's.
Can you please explain about the area one?
Area 1.
Yeah.
Okay. So the area 1 basically is just a way I trigger the scenario. So I can take that area and move it down here. I can move it up here. So or I can move it right there. So let's do that. And then we're gonna make this guy turned around, place it, and I could also change the size of this. So let's move this. So all this is like an area that I'm looking for. Okay. And I'm going to play this. So he's facing in the right direction, but the logic doesn't get triggered until the other vehicle has the advantage. Does it make sense? So watch, this blue force will kill the red force because the trigger happens back here. So you can see he's not firing. He sees him. He's slewing his weapon. He's going to engage. Death. Okay, so let's play it again. And I'm going to move this area over here. Play it again. Now he's got the logic. He's got the advantage. Come on, dude. There he goes. So it all depends on how you place your logic. And we could even make this more exciting. So I've got. Go ahead.
Does the object have the hearing ability?
Hearing?
Just like radar sensor.
Uh,
For example, when the tank move from there, if you don't have the area 1, the red tank is facing this direction.
Yes.
Yeah. And the blue tank going up.
Yeah.
You have the radar sensors that
Yes.
you can understand that
So yes.
the car is moving. So
Yes. So watch this. I'm going to delete that area. So we see this logic working. I'm going to rewind this scenario. All right. So there's the area there. I'm going to delete it. Watch what happens to my logic. It's probably not going to work, but I'm just going to get rid of this. I'll get rid of that, hit OK, and change this to fire at will. So they have, fire at will, hit OK, hit apply. So now, by default, they're using their sensors. So they have the ability to pick things up, and tanks are probably not the best thing. Like aircraft have sensor. They can pick things up on the ground, so they have sensors. Submarines, anything with radar. So he's got the advantage. He doesn't need that. Now he sees them. See that green line? Now he's got him, and he kills him. So he didn't see the green line until he had line of sight. And that means his sensor saw it, and he's just going to engage. Okay. So I know this is complicated. So we're gonna play with this today. So this is the day we play with things. But also remember that I could get into a tank and drive it around, and I could be the human making the decisions.
You want to ask, uh, can we customize the range of sight?
The,
The range of sight, like right now it's facing only one straight line. Can we widen it up like this?
well,
Like for in this area, I got blocked in here. I got blocked in here, but I still
yeah. So this is a 360 or a 360 degrees. So he can see. It's just that his weaponry is a turret. So his turret has to.
tức là nó nhìn được 360 độ luôn anh ạ. Nhưng mà cái vũ khí của nó lại chỉ nhìn được một đường
So
thẳng thôi.
watch.
Tức là ví dụ như nó nhìn thấy cái xe đằng trước này rồi thì cái súng của em đang ở đây nó lại quay ngược lại để nó bắn.
Yep. So I'm gonna take this, turn it this way, so he's facing the opposite direction. And then if I hit play, hit yes, and I'm gonna change this to stealth view, so you can see him facing the opposite direction. And I'll speed this up a little bit. So he's gonna turn that corner, and what you'll see is that he'll actually see it, but he's gonna start turning his weapon. So he needs to turn his weapon. He's trying to turn, but this weaponry was already close enough. So that huge turret has to turn to engage, and if he doesn't have it turn,
Em hỏi nó là cái này nó phụ thuộc vào tính năng của trang bị cho nên là mình sau này thiết lập bảo mật. Cái tính năng của trang bị nó là như vậy thì bắt buộc phải theo trang bị để anh
You want to know if the turning or everything is that the default speed of
no, you
the
can
tank, or can you
change that. You can customize it. So watch this.
Có, anh có thể thay đổi được.
So I'm gonna go.
Kỹ năng cơ bản nó sẽ đang
I'm gonna go here.
giống như ở cái nhìn đêm hoặc là cái kính quan sát mà nó sẽ bị giới hạn thôi, cái tăng nó giới hạn cái đấy là mình thiết lập hay là do
cái đấy là do mình thiết lập được.
So all of this is
tính năng của trang bị
tweakable.
chỉ nhìn vậy nếu em đọc cái về tính năng không là chỉ góc nhìn nó từ 380 độ lại lại nó chỉ nhìn 180 độ thôi.
So I'm gonna open the simulation model set, which is engage. Hit OK. And this takes a while.
You want to know the player that is that can we see like 360 around the tank, or
Yeah.
can we customize that we only see 180 around the tank?
Uh,
Like in real life, we cannot see 360.
Yeah, I'll have to show you what the capabilities are. So let me rewind this, and I'm gonna select this tank. I can do create server attach. One second. Let me just show you this. Let's go here. And hit play. So I'm seeing, let's see what this looks like. If this will demonstrate. It's not giving me what I want. Sorry. Yeah, that didn't give me what I want. Yeah. All right. M1A2. There we go. So this is the tank that we're playing with. System and movement physical. Physical general.
cái điều này cái chỗ này là một trường cái kỹ năng nghĩa là nó cũng cảm thấy cái xăng qua cái dòng nhưng mà nó giống như nó mang cái kiểu cảnh nhìn lên hoặc là có một con giống như cái là đấy.
So the movement physical system. Give me a second. Let me see if I can track this down for you. So we'll focus on the main gun. Cancel. So here's the one thing. See, this is the slew rate. See the slew rate? This is degrees per second. So I can up this and make it like, faster, slower. Yeah, 50, 60, whatever you want. So we can modify all this. Then rounds per magazine, rounds for trigger pull. So you can do all sorts of customizable, the range in between bursts, minimum shell. Like you can change it. Return to heading, complete and fire, general. We can also add on this, like any sort of system that you're looking for. So I can say new system, and this will be damage or a weapon, artillery, ballistics. I can change this and add pretty much anything you want and customize it to work the way you want it to. And if you have like a question like, hey, I'm trying to do this, just send it to our support. Like if you say, hey, I want to add this type of system to your tool, how do I do that? Like we can customize everything. So everything is customizable. It's not like it's a black box. It's actually editable. So I just don't, I'm worried I'm going to screw something up by doing something a little too, but all this is customizable and you can tweak it all. And I can go under systems and create a new system, or I can modify the existing systems in here. It's actually quite easy to make it happen. But what I would do is recommend that you create your own SMS, like make a backup before you start messing with it, because it could potentially break what's working and you might have to reinstall the software. But so if we go to a system and we want to tweak the slew rate, I could make it some crazy amount and then I could save that out. And it's not going to like this. So it's going to say something like save simulations. Okay, so it did actually allow me to do that. All right, so now when we reset this, it's going to be considerably faster when it turns. So I'm going to exit this, reload the scenario, and we'll go here. The Air Forces, and I'll load that same scenario, localhost, launch. How are we doing for time? Everything good? Right? Good. All right, so we'll run this again and see if we get a different outcome. All right. So there should be a faster target acquisition. So we'll go here, go into stealth view, play. Whoops. Now they see each other, and you can see it's a little bit faster. You can see he's just holding that, his last target. And we could increase it even more. So, does it all make sense? So everything, not everything is written in stone. We can modify quite a bit in there. Okay, so what I'd like for you guys to do is create a scenario like this, where I've got targets that kind of in a defensive posture, in a defensive position, and then advancing. So I've got blue against red. And so let's say you have 5 red tanks advancing on 2 blue tanks. And then you could try to use the terrain to take out targets. I could also do something like this. So let me change this to plan view again. And then you can see that I can type in, let's see if I've got mine, simulation effects. We're going to do a minefield here. And so let's say I created some mines here. So this is a minefield. And I'm going to hit yes. And speed it up a little bit. So these are like just a randomly placed mines, and we'll see if he actually gets detonated. And did he? No, he got through it safe. So let's try that again. Minefields, scattered, conventional, tactical graphics. Let me edit this. And you can see the density. So let's change that value. We're going to get rid of some zeros. So that means it's going to be quite dense. Hit OK. We'll play it again. Speed it up. There you go. There's on my mind. So he's definitely going to hit one. And there he goes. Okay. Make sense? So he basically, the first time I ran it, it wasn't as dense. So then I upped the density because it's such a small area that he actually then hit the mines. And you can see how dense they are. And I'm probably going to move it over here and reset it. Change it. So I could, force. So what I want to see is you guys creating a defensive posture and then an offensive posture, and try to create logic for each one. You're almost playing chess against each other. So let's say you've got a blue force that's entrenched and they have they're in the proper facing, and maybe they've got minefields, or maybe they put barricades out there. So the other tanks have to move around, and you funnel them towards the minefield, and then that lines them up for when they're disabled. You can light them up in the minefield, or light them up in overlapping avenues of attack. So you've got targets that have multiple angles being lit up. So think about it. Like how would you do this? So if I got rid of the minefield, or if I only have a small amount of mines, a good tank is not going to travel through this area, but unless you put in barricades or something like that, and we have, let's see, barricades. So building barricades, HESCO barricades, obstacle. So I do have different barricades, and I think we have something called Dragon's Teeth. Obstacle Dragon's Teeth. Here you go. So I could put out obstacles like this, and that should be able to change their behavior. Let's see what it does. So I'm going to hit play. This may or may not work. I'm just kind of playing around with this. See what it does. There we go. Oh, where are you going, dude? So you can see he can't quite get to where he wants to get to. So he's actually taking a different route. So those barricades blocked his ability to move there. That makes sense. And now he's actually probably going to get lit up by the other tank. So he's got a, there he goes. Oh, he missed. So the ground obstruct the shot. Make sense? So I put in barricades. I have a minefield that was kind of useless at that point. But this is the way we build scenarios using logic. You could also have air power or indirect fire. So if you want to have like an artillery barrage or an airstrike or Cobra missiles or anything, there's things that we could do here to kind of make this more and more. So we're literally doing tank to tank, which is pretty easy. But if you had indirect fire plus tank to tank or air to ground support, there's all sorts of things we could throw in there. So let's start today by just doing tank versus tank, red versus blue, and then see if you can add in a minefield, and I'll show you how to do that, or add in obstacles. And the minefield, I do M-I-N-E, and it is this minefield right here. This is the one I add. Okay, you guys want to take a break? Mental break? 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 Yeah, you want a break, don't you? Good so far?
Yes.
You enjoying it?
Cái này là cái gì tâm lý nhỏ ở trên cái không gian là vận tải chuyển sang thải
Hey, good.
có là bắn nhau trên đây nó bốc phát.
Thì đó, cái đấy thì là nói, nhưng mà cái đấy phải xây dựng trong thư viện cũng được có chỗ đó.
Some hit the bathroom.
Anh cho con máy nó split thôi. Có cái chứ không phải là đẹp có 16 ghi sợ 16 ghi là ý nó quanh đấy gì? Có các cơ sở quanh đấy gì? Chắc là em một cạnh
Thế bữa nay chiều các em có đi gặp chủ khoa thì đi giao tịch rồi. Tôi vẫn áo lượng bạn thì của em chiều lại học thì quay là vector này. Cái này chắc là quay hết.
Vâng, cái này thì cái khuôn cũng quay rồi mà đặt có thể
thôi các chú đưa ta đi
vâng
Đây có không phải tiếng
có
em test đầu tiên thì sau nhiều sẽ lên ngoài 8 ngày mà. 8 ngày. Đúng rồi.
đặt một tiếng Anh đi bảo là after the training cruise finish can you give me your laptop.
Mày quả nó không cà phê mày không mua đâu. Nó cho nhiều cho quý lắm. Nó chiều tay cả đây. Chiều không đi lại chiều. Không kiếm tiền em. Bán mẹ luôn là ăn trưa. Thế giờ dễ.
Bây giờ thanh toán nó bắt là phải có hóa đơn đấy.
Mẹ thế em có
Anh mà ăn
vẫn
trưa
chụp view mà.
không, tức là ăn trưa thì
Đúng không? Thế em vẫn chụp view bình thường mà. Xong em mua hết tất cả mọi thứ xong rồi đấy.
nghe
Anh đổ lên em đây tổng năm làm đi.
Xbox này.
Nó nhiều không dễ tính hoạt động nhỉ?
Vâng.
Nó kép Tiger đây vừa cái nói từ sáng cho nó luôn rồi phải chứ.
Bố cái này là gì?
Cảm ơn đấy.
Xịn nha. Tức là đặt bằng kiểu gì mà
Nó giống cái ấy không?
cái màn cái màn cảm ứng á.
Vâng. Mình đăng screen lên nên là đấy là cô ấy là mình đăng kiểu là view lên đấy từ máy tính lên cũng vẽ được. Ngon nhỉ? Cô gọi hôm đầu tiên em mới đăng cứ bấm điều khiển bấm mãi được qua ra nó bằng anh kể đấy em anh bỏ có cái gì đây em làm một cái gì
Báo cáo nó cũng sẽ được như thường.
không phải là điều ta
Nên chúng ta nhận cái quân quá ý nghĩa đấy. Không nhiều nhưng mà nó
không không được không đại nói bên này đây là nó biết ông tiên không phải ông tiên được cái mặt trước về một ngày đầu có nói đi học nhưng mà làm việc khổ rất là việc khó đấy muốn là tại là sửa chất là
buổi sáng anh các anh hỏi bảo là trước đây thì khách hàng người đã mua mới là sử dụng lên phong rồi thì không biết là bạn có làm việc với cái này bao giờ chưa? Đó là chưa.
chẳng cả với nhau cũng kẻ sửa anh em một đây hải tầm chỉ có
Của bên em anh ngồi một ngồi ngồi tiền tập không em
nó khổ đây khổ đâu vậy
tập không ngồi bảy là một cái này
phát đấy
chỉ em có thể là sẽ nhiều tiền
cứ cái này cái này cái này cứ cho mình cứ cho mày đấy
cái nữa phải là
Steven?
Your laptop, I assume the price is very expensive.
In the US?
Yeah,
Yeah, it's probably
$3,000.
yeah, I'm not sure exactly what the price is, but it's up there. I'm gonna stop streaming if that's all right, or should I just let it go? Should I stop the streaming here?
Astawa.
Stop?
Oh,
Should I stop?